All right.
Here we are. Okay. I'm so pleased people are still here. I thought everyone would have gone home, but that's all good.
All right. Thank you very much for coming to El Salvador for those of you who are new here, Bitcoin country, and adopting Bitcoin. Probably, it's the only conference I've been to, but as far as I'm concerned, it's the best conference because it's all about adoption.
Yes. I'm Nicki. This is James, and we're excited to share first-hand experience of the growth and the development of Bitcoin Berlin.
So, today we've been walking around talking to a lot of people who are very excited to learn about what's been happening in Berlin, here in El Salvador, not in Germany, to the point where we've actually thought about what we've written, and we've actually decided, we don't want that, or do you want to? And we've actually decided that what we've written might be pretty boring. So
we've decided
we're going to do it live.
Okay, so we moved to El Salvador nearly 3 years ago. It was when it was the most dangerous country in the world. Who knows what the flip we were doing, but we came here anyway.
We came here to be part of the Bitcoin adoption. It's a large part of it. When that big orange flag was put in the ground, we thought, you know what? Let's go and be part of something that's going to change the world.
Yeah. And because we want to be the change in the world, that we stayed at the beach for about 18 months, and then we moved up to Berlin, in El Salvador. So, James, why did we move to Berlin?
All right, Berlin is east in the country, in the direction of where Bitcoin City is. It's 1,000 meters up, which is a lot cooler than it is at the beach. We were at the beach sweating day in, day out. The 1,000 meter cooler climate was definitely a big draw card.
We had met two amazing people, Evelyn and Gerardo, and they talked to us about coming to Berlin because they wanted to start a circular economy. So one of the reasons we went up there is we wanted to be part of this growth, of this passion that we came to El Salvador for.
When we got there, we were shown 20 businesses that had been onboarded in 10 weeks. It was the beginning of a budding circular economy.
So what made Berlin such a successful place, James?
Well, it's actually got around 15,000 people, and there's more in the surrounding areas. Why this is really important is anybody who pays attention to economics knows that small to medium businesses are the heart of a healthy economy. If a business is too small, then, if a business is too large, it's very difficult to get to the owners of the business. Also, a lot of those large businesses, they take the money out of that economy.
So it's really important when you're starting a circular economy that you can build liquidity. And so the importance of having the money stay inside of Berlin was really important. The Bitcoin staying inside of Berlin was really important. The other great thing with Berlin was the fact that it was a walkable town. So if you're looking at starting a circular economy and you have maybe a really large city, maybe it's a really good idea to actually look at a walkable neighborhood and onboard people in a walkable neighborhood first.
For example, San Salvador is huge, and I think there's over 200 businesses in that region, but the trouble is, to get from one business to the next business, you need to use a taxi or a car, and it makes it very difficult to keep the money circulating in the area.
So we've been living in Berlin for over a year and a half, and we've played a huge part in creating the Bitcoin Centre. Now, the Bitcoin Centre is actually the heart of a community when you're looking at creating a circular economy. So if you have the ability to open up a centre, It shows that you're committed to the community. It shows that you're committed to the adoption.
One of the important things about the small to medium businesses as well is that you've actually got access to the owners. Those owners are often the social leaders of a community. Once they start to see that the people that are there with the Bitcoin community are committed to the economy, are committed to the town, they will start coming to the Bitcoin Centre. They will start asking questions.
One of the big things too is we find that a lot of people who are starting circular economies, they're looking at sort of putting their hand out and wanting to look at getting funding. Okay, so one of the things that we found really great with Berlin is it wasn't about putting your hand out and asking for funds. What it was actually, we wanted to create something that was actually self-funding. So when we looked at the centre, the big thing with the centre was it had to be a self-funding centre. So what we meant by that was we needed to look at ways where we could create an income stream from what we had in the centre. So when you're looking at that, you need to sort of look at making sure you can maybe receive funds from renting out rooms, funds from education, a cafe, merchandise.
The reason that being self-funding is really important is it gives you a superpower. Being able to say no is a superpower. Sometimes when you have funding opportunities, some people are going to ask you to maybe go against your morals or your integrity. So when you can say, look, we don't actually need the funding from this, we're okay doing what we're doing because we don't necessarily agree, that is going to give the circular economy a much stronger position going forward.
So when, with Berlin, another very successful thing is we call it the 3 pillars. Okay, so when we're talking about the 3 pillars made up the circular economy. So where we're looking at business adoption and with the support. We were talking about community projects and we were talking about the Bitcoin Centre. So if we look at the business adoption and support first, James, what was the key elements there?
I want to go back a step. I want to go back a step to a really important thing, which was the team. What happened in Berlin is they started approaching the businesses as Berlinesses in action. And this is a really self-explanatory name, really. It's a bunch of local people who are taking action to improve the town that they're living in. So they didn't start with Bitcoin. They started with proof of work. They started going and doing things with community projects that showed proof of work. This then got the engagement from the businesses, from the community. Once they started to get traction with the proof of work, a lot of the people were like, why are you doing this? Why is this bringing new business to our town? Why is this attracting tourists? And the answer was Bitcoin. So a natural evolution then started to happen. Now that people were past that initial shock of new people coming to the town, being confused why these people were here, you could introduce Bitcoin. Whoops, lost my train of thought there.
That's good. We carry on and we're talking about creating a team. Okay, so another big thing with the circular economy and building a circular economy is making sure that you have a really good team around you. So when we're talking about team, we're talking about people who understand and know Bitcoin, number one. We then want to talk about the locals. Okay, we want passionate locals. We want locals who actually want to see an improvement in their town and they want to see the adoption and see something amazing happen. We also want to engage in the foreigners. So it's, I think especially now, it's really important that it's not just having local people, but having foreigners, because foreigners are bringing in new income or new Bitcoin into that community.
Yeah.
Did I do it?
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll keep going. All right, so, so we're talking about foreigners. We're also talking about people who, especially here in El Salvador, it was really important that we, James and I don't speak Spanish. So, we were relying on the Spanish speakers. So even if you've got a foreigner who can speak Spanish, it really bridges the gap between, locals and foreigners there as well, which was a really good help.
Yeah. Sorry, it's a little bit disjointed due to changing the way we're going to do it. Yeah, change of strategy. I'm going to go back to the 3 pillars for the moment. So the community projects were a really smart initiative that came in. It basically gave a really good opportunity for people for their businesses to come together and be part of the community, for the community members to come in. What this did is it also offered the opportunity for people to create proof of work that could be used with the social media. And that social media was then used to draw more people into the community. That social media was also used in the local chat groups. That created a bit of a flywheel effect that the proof of work was happening in the town. The business outreach was an opportunity for us to talk to the businesses about the community projects that were happening. So it was a fantastic marketing opportunity there to invite them to come and be part of something that was going to improve their town. Then the community centre was a great place for us to offer support for the businesses to advertise the community projects, and it was creating a flywheel effect that was supporting each of the pillars.
One of the things with the community projects, I am going to go back, is the fact that if you're wanting funds to come in, I talked about making sure that you are in a position where you're not relying on funding. But you get to a point where if you're doing any form of marketing, it's really important that you market what you're doing really cleanly and clearly. So when it came to a fundraising project, Berlin was incredible. I mean, the fundraisers they did, they got funds from all over the world. They came in. So one of the things is making sure you do a marketing strategy that's very clean and clear. So, selling baked goods to raise funds to paint the park. And it was really simple, and they received funds from a lot of different places for that reason.
Something that was special about Berlin was that they found something called the hero's journey. The hero's journey is from James Cameron. Sorry.
So how this came about was the fact that very close to Berlin is a town called Alegria. It's about 5 kilometres away. Alegria is a real big tourist town. You had people from San Miguel and Uslatan coming up, and it was busy hub. So you would go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it's this crazy tourist town. Berlin was not, and the reason that it was busy was because the people from Uslatan and San Miguel were escaping the heat in the weekend, and they were going to go and hang out. It was only 5k away from Berlin, but people were not going to Berlin. And so the people of Berlin were, a bit disappointed that they weren't getting this tourism. And so when people were going to the businesses and talking to them, go, hey, would you like to have some of these tourists? And people were going, yeah, but how? And it's talking about, well, all you need to do is accept Bitcoin. And this created a concept where all of a sudden Berlin was starting to get the tourism because they were accepting Bitcoin, the Bitcoin tourists, not the ones from San Miguel or Uslatan.
Exactly. Not doing well with it.
Okay. All right. So we're going to have a bit of a change. What I'd like to ask you, Jane, is why is it important to have a circular economy?
All right, the reason the circular economy is super important. The Bitcoin price at the moment, it doesn't matter if it's $100,000, $1 million, or $10 million. If we have to exit to a fiat system, we don't win. The reason the circular economy is really important is because we need to be able to spend that money between us.
All right, and I think one of the biggest things what we've found in Berlin, and I think any circular economy, is it's really important that we take action, okay? So no matter what we do here when it comes to setting up a circular economy, you can come up with any idea, you can come up with any concept. If it's only an idea until you actually take the action and you just do it. And if you don't just do it, it's never actually going to achieve or become something.
Yeah, we need to get out of it.
What? You do it.
We need to finish it.
What?
We need to get out of it and finish it.
No, you can't. Okay. I'm not even going to look at those bits of paper. I think one of the, so I'm sort of riffing here, but I do apologise for us throwing it all on the floor. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Look, I think what we'll do, just give me 2 ticks, we're going to bring... marketing to the world.
All right. One of the really important things about advertising your circular economy is that you need to be putting it out to the world. You need to be using the tools that are out there. There are some really fantastic tools. Social media is going to be really important. It's going to be really important to talking to the world. It's going to be really important to talking to your circular economy. Things like BTC maps are really important. We need to make sure that we're putting all of the businesses on there so people can find them. Things like Nosta, Satlantis, they're going to be really important to help people find the new communities that they need in the world. WhatsApp, Facebook, you need to go where your community is. I know some of us don't like WhatsApp and Facebook, but if that's where your circular economy is, you need to go and talk to them there. Funding and structure. Something that was really unique about Berlin is it was basically started with people's time. We didn't have any major money injections. So we did proof of work. That proof of work led to a little bit of money. That little bit of money meant that we could improve the centre. Once the centre was improved with proof of work, we got more money. Then more money meant that more work could be put into a better centre. Something to consider about a circular economy, if you're going to start one, is that run it like a small business. You're going to need a leader with a vision who can then start to assemble a team. So, to sum it up, if you don't want to start a circular economy, the other option is to be a user in a circular economy, because being a user in a circular economy is just as important as being as the circular economy itself. Every business you go into, ask them if they'll accept Bitcoin. Have fun doing it. I make it a lot of fun when I go in and I talk to a business. Ask the staff if they will accept a tip, so make sure that you've got a wallet that's ready to go to buy something. You can contribute to BTC Map. This is a super important place to actually find businesses. Right now there's more businesses than there are people willing to spend Bitcoin. And then learn how to earn, save, and spend. This is all about living on a Bitcoin standard. Being in a circular economy, you're going to need to learn how to earn, save, and spend. Finally, thank you guys for coming along and having a listen. We've actually gone and put together all of the information in a document which you can download from our QR code. You can also go to this website if you don't want to use the QR code. There's also other bonus information on setting up your own circular economy. Check out the Bubbles Bitcoin white paper, Bitcoin Beach white paper. There's the Federation of the Bitcoin Circular Economies. There's btcmap.org communities. And there's also the Bitcoin, My First Bitcoin node network.
I just want to put one more slide up here,
No.
guys. And yes, I am. And we will answer some questions. I know there is a lot we missed out, but just one moment. As if it's going to work. Oh, it's not going to work.
No, just leave
Okay.
it. Don't do it.
All right. Hey, we apologise. This has got a white. If you want to scan this, we have created a white paper that you can download about building a circular economy. We would like, if you've got any questions, I'm sorry, I think it's late for us, it's late for you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if there is any questions, please, ask.
It's all good. We'll do it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. If you have an opportunity to come up to Berlin, please come and visit. There's also a page, if you go to our website, you can find a page which will give you driving instructions and good places to stay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Is that us?
Amazing. Now we have, last but not least, last